Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Humanity. Look how far you've fallen.
Greetings, programs, and welcome to Pop Culture Therapy. I'm your host, Stone Loki. We have heard a ton of rumors about Episode 9. There are rumors and theories flying off the chain about how bad Episode 9 is going to bomb. Whether it will, whether it won't, I don't know. I suspect it will from everything that I've heard, but we don't really know yet. Because all we've heard is a bunch of rumors. That is all anybody is talking about, are these rumors. But whose fault is it? Is it Disney's fault as a whole? Is it Bob Iger's fault? Is it Kathleen Kennedy's fault? Kathleen Kennedy recently came out and said that Palpatine was always going to be in Episode 9. That this was all building up to this. Colin Trevorrow said that Palpatine was never in the script. That this was something that Jar Jar Abrams brought to the table. Who do you believe? Do you believe Kathleen Kennedy? Do you believe Colin Trevorrow? Kathleen Kennedy has lied to us before. The buck stops with Kathleen Kennedy. That's where it stops. People can blame Bob Iger all they want to. It's Kathleen Kennedy at the head of the Lucasfilm group. She is the one who hired the Gilmore Girls staff to run the Lucasfilm story group. They are making movies by committee. That's what they're doing. If anybody remembers the original Star Wars movie, when Han says, "I don't have time to discuss this in a committee," and Leia goes, "I am not a committee." Well, that's what we're getting Star Wars. That's what we're getting with Star Wars, is a committee. We're getting story by committee. That's what we're getting. That's what we've got. That's what episodes 7 and 8 are, is story by committee. If Rian Johnson hadn't have killed off Snoke, I do not believe we would be getting Palpatine in episode 9. That is my belief. And that is what I'm going. That is where the buck stops. The buck stops with Kathleen Kennedy. When Lords and Miller were making Solo, and it was 90% complete, the buck stopped with Kathleen Kennedy. Why? Because she is the one in charge of all this. She is the one making decisions. When George Lucas was the one making the decisions, everyone blamed him. Remember that, prequel fans? When people said the prequel movies suck compared to the OT, everyone blamed George. Now everybody's treating him like a saint. Like St. George can come in and fix this entire mess. George is the one responsible for sand its course and it gets everywhere. If he didn't want that in the movie, it wouldn't have been in the movie. It wouldn't have been in Attack of the Clones. Kathleen Kennedy is where the buck stops with the Disney trilogy, and it is the Disney trilogy. There is no sequel trilogy anymore. It is the Disney trilogy. They had the opportunity to do this and do it right. Everybody was still alive when they started this. The band will not be getting back together. Why? Because we're missing a member of the band. Carrie Fisher is gone. They had to reuse footage from episode 7 just to get her in the new movie. The band won't be getting back together. This will not be fixed. They can go back and they can remake the original trilogy all they want to. It's not getting fixed, folks. This is the way it is. Whether they come out with more wonderful episodes of The Mandalorian that make The Mandalorian a great show, Star Wars movies have been screwed by personal agenda. It is the personal agenda of Kathleen Kennedy. It is the personal agenda of the J.J. Abrams. It is the personal agenda of Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson fucked everything up. He fucked you in the drive-thru. Why? Because he wanted his own little personal agenda in the movies. He saw himself as a young Rose Tico battling against insurmountable odds. He wanted to divide the fandom. He said he wanted to divide the fandom. He said he wanted to make a movie universally praised and universally hated at the same time. And he succeeded. Whose fault is that? It is Kathleen Kennedy's fault. She is in charge. The buck stops there. When she says we had nothing, we have nothing, we have no comic books, we have no 800-page novels, that is her fault. George wrote a huge treatment for episodes 7, 8, and 9. And they threw it in the garbage and they lit it on fire. That was their choice. This is on her. Plain and simple. When you get down to everything that's being talked about, when you get down to the movies that have already come out, this is on her. For the most part, I liked episode 7. For the most part, until the end. I think the ending jumped the shark and was completely fucking ridiculous. Why? You've got Rey, who has zero training, taking out Kylo Ren. And they say they're going to fix that in this movie. Oh, we're going to explain everything. We're going to explain why she's so powerful and why it looks like she knows what she's doing. Really? You're going to explain that in a meaningful way that's not tacky as fuck because y'all fucked up. Now, in the very end, it's time to fix things. No. You fix things before a movie comes out. You fix things before the second movie comes out. You don't fix things in the last act. And that is the problem. That is the problem with JJ. He is trying to fix things in the last act. The horses have already come home, buddy. It doesn't matter whether you fix the barn door now. The horses have already come home. This has already pissed a shitload of fans off. Y'all have fucked this trilogy. You fucked it real good. What is going to have to happen is Star Wars is going to have to go away. The movies are going to have to go away. When Bob Iger said it's time for them to take a break with the Star Wars movies, he was right. Why was he right? Because this will follow anything to come in the next couple of years. How do I know that? Because the fandom is still talking about The Last Jedi. They are still talking about this movie and these characters and how bad the characters are. I don't blame one single actor. I don't blame Hayden Christensen for Sandy's cuss and it gets everywhere. It's not his fault. If George didn't want it in the movie, it wouldn't have been in the movie. Plain and simple. If Kathleen Kennedy didn't want all this bullshit in Star Wars, it wouldn't be in Star Wars. Star Wars needs to go away. It needs to take a long ass break and go away. If they want to do series, fine. I'm liking The Mandalorian. I think The Mandalorian's a great show so far. 3 episodes in, and I really, really like the last episode. But that's not a movie. That's not going into the theaters to make billions of dollars. You guys could have broken every Hollywood record ever known. And we get shit, is what we get. We get shit. You guys had me. You had me with, we've got Star Wars, we're going to make a bunch of shit. I was like, great. Disney's got Star Wars. They've got someone connected to Lucas running Star Wars. This is going to be awesome. And you guys shit the bed. That's what you did. You shit the bed with woke-ass bullshit. Yes, we would have loved a female hero. That was good. But your character sucks. Daisy Ridley is doing everything she can to try and make it not suck. But y'all are making it impossible. Why? Because you want to have a bunch of bullshit agenda in there. You want to save the horses and leave the indentured children behind. That is your idea of a good scene in a movie. is to save the animals and leave the indentured servitude children back where they're at. Good job, Disney. Good job. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe and ring that bell. And I will catch you all on the next Pop Culture Therapy.